Hello guys and welcome back to another 300-second gaming Roblox video. Today I'm here in actually Roblox Paintball and I'm going to be showing you the ultimate beginner's guide from going to using this default gun to becoming that pro you've always dreamed of with the best, most expensive guns in the game. I'm also going to briefly cover just like your upgrade cycle, so like what guns you should buy and when and that sort of thing. So, the first thing you're going to start off is with the default gun. And you're going to want to upgrade out of this as soon as possible, and in a minute I'll be showing you how to, but first we just want to know what you want to know, obviously, what gun should you be upgrading to. So, as soon as possible, you probably will want to go with the SMG. I mean, I would, if you don't have the patience to wait a bit, get a better gun, go with the SMG. Even though, as you can see, it has, like, no range, so it's really not that good of a gun. And the firing rate isn't even that decent. You could then get the deagle, but the firing rate, it's not automatic. And while it does have more range than the beginner gun, the range even then is not that great, and it's all around a bad gun. Next, the Akimbo Uzi. I mean, I know I used this gun for a while when I was just starting off, and its low price point make it a great starting gun. Next up, we have the M4, and subscribe with the notifications bell, because in the future I'm going to be showing you pretty much the best path you should take to upgrading. But the M4, I would argue it's better than the UMP. I mean, the firing rate, it's slightly slower, as we can see here, but it just gives you that little bit of extra range. And I see so many people going with the UMP, and then it means that it takes you a few more seconds to dial in your shot. And every second of just moving your mouse up and down to get that range is another chance to die and another chance where you could have gotten a kill. Like just there, if I had the M4, odds are I probably would have gotten that kill a lot faster and quite possibly then survived and not died. Another benefit to a gun like the M4 is that for like if you need to remove like a sentry, you need to get an instant shot before you can be killed by the sentry. So if you have to wait a few seconds to dial in your shot, you're only going to get like one damage tops. But if you can hit that sentry instantly, you'll get that kill. Next, after this, you're probably going to want to, around here, once you have a gun that's all around good enough, is when you're just going to want to really start practicing saving up. I would not really recommend the dual deagles or the M249, and if you already have the M4, there's really not much reason to upgrade to the Tommy. Next, though, I would highly recommend the Scout, and I'm probably going to make a video on this about a few great ways to make money with it, but pretty much it has a scope, and as you can see, it has just so much more range, and that's what makes this weapon good. It's not automatic, but it has plenty of range, and it's only 52k, so not too expensive, which obviously it depends. Some people just don't like sniping, and in that case I still recommend it, but if you absolutely can't, then okay. Next, you could go with this minigun. It's a cool gun. It has a cool sound effect and all. But I wouldn't recommend it. Range sucks, and you really don't need to be shooting that many bullets anyways. Next is the P90. Now, this is probably the best mid-range assault rifle. It's not as expensive as like the Scar or something like that. The Scar or the AK or even going up to like the skeleton gun. It's not as expensive as that, but it's good. I mean, it has decent range and it has a good fire rate. So there's nothing particularly epic about it, but there's nothing bad about it, which is why it's such a good gun. And at this point, after this, I'm not going to really cover what guns you should get in this video because at that point, you're way past beginner. So, now I'm going to be using the M4 just to demonstrate that this really works. But now I'm going to be showing you those tips that you've been waiting for. And tip number 1 is just crank that audio up. And what I mean by that is just crank your audio up. I mean, can't think of a better way to explain. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. Louder volume, if the louder you have it, you can hear stuff. It gives you more situational awareness. And obviously, I can't do it in the video just for copyright, but you get the point. As long as you don't go deaf, louder audio is good. If you go deaf, then it won't matter how loud your audio is, because you won't be able to hear it anyways. But yeah. Okay, so next tip is learn the map. So learn how, as you can see, the people on the other team, they clearly know the map because they know this is a great choke point. This is a great place where they can just trap an entire team in one place, and we can't do anything about it. But at the same time, knowing the maps, you'll also know that a lot of times it's possible to sneak around on the edges. Maybe not. If we take that sentry out, we'll probably 99% chance be able to sneak around the edges. And unless a player sees you, odds are you will get out. And then you can attack the sentries from another angle, making your team a lot more likely to break out of where you're trapped. Next is strategically place your sentries. What I mean by this is place your sentry somewhere where you can't easily hit it from really long range, because then sentries have a lot more limited range than players. So a lot of times what will happen is you can just snipe a sentry and the sentry can't shoot you because you're too far away for it. But if you place it somewhere where that's not possible, that just boosted the odds of your sentry getting successful and getting a bunch of kills like tenfold. Okay, so next thing is get better at it, and obviously just upgrade your guns. And what I would recommend, as I said earlier, get the scout, and then get the others, and also get the SMG, the P90. And the reason why I recommend this is because at that point you're really still trying to figure out what do you like more, sniping type thing. Obviously you can't always snipe, but what do you prefer when possible, sniping, or let's say more of a active, like running around the map? What's your style, pretty much? And by having two very different guns, you'll really be able to figure that out, and that'll just make your gaming experience a lot more pleasant if you're doing something you really enjoy. Also, don't another tip, don't take the game too seriously. I mean, just a game. Also, it's a lot less serious than a lot of first-person shooters, like, let's say, Fortnite, that sort of thing. Next, learn the little things. So, like, some maps you not as much anymore, but I know during the Christmas update in the one map there was a way where you could just glitch yourself into a Christmas tree and you could shoot out just if you had your gun sticking out of the tree, but you couldn't be shot. And it's just learning these little things that makes you a better player. Or how I just climbed onto a tree a minute ago. I mean, that is something that it just takes time to learn. And for our last tip to wrap it up, we'll ask you two more. One, subscribe to this YouTube channel because I am going to do a lot more paintball content and just great all-around Roblox content. So definitely subscribe and try to play the game more. So, like, the more you play until a certain point, the more you get better. And with that, I think I'm going to end off this video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, smash that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next Roblox video. Peace.